We can now finally obtain the seasonal exotic for Season of the Deep, which is the Wicked Implement Scout Rifle. If you've been out of the loop on how to obtain this exotic, all you have to do is catch an exotic fish on each of the fishing locations, the EDZ, Nessus, and the Throne World. Go and turn those in to the helm. You'll get these broken blade pieces. Then all you have to do is go into a deep dive and deposit each of the quote-unquote hidden statues. And then after the second encounter, a door off to the right will open, and you go through that and start the mission. It's essentially a time mission. You have 10 minutes to do it, so it is a little tough. The enemies are a little chunky, but it's very easily doable. So here is what the exotic looks like. I'm not gonna lie, I like the way it looks, if I'm being honest, but it also does come with a viced ornament that you can purchase. But other than that, let's go over what its perks are. So for its intrinsic, we have creeping attrition, rapidly landing precision hits cause the target to become slowed, and then we also have corkscrew rifling, accurized rounds, then fitted stock, and then its other perk, Tithing Harvest. Precision final blows while creeping attrition is active. Create a stasis shard that returns to you. Collecting stasis shards refills the magazine. So essentially, if you're able to slow a target on these precision hits long enough, it does actually freeze the target, and then you can break him. So the scout rifle does have the potential to stun overload and unstoppable champions. And from what I've seen, essentially what the catalyst does is give it overflowed. So when you collect those stasis shards, it'll overflow the magazine instead of keeping it at its max, which is 15. So what are my thoughts on the scout rifle? How well does it perform across the board? So first up, I just want to say I like the design of the scout. I like how it sounds. I like the reticle. Performance wise, it's basically a run-of-the-mill scout rifle that wastes an exotic slot, unfortunately. Like, yes, like I mentioned, you can stun overload champions, you can stun unstoppable champions, and if for some reason we get anti-barrier scout rifle, this scout has the potential to stun all three types of champions. But on the other hand, we have other weapons that can do the same thing, that don't take up an exotic slot and can do more damage overall. You have things like the Riptide Fusion Rifle you can get from the Crucible. Again, that can come with Chill Clip. Same thing with Deliverance from Val Disciple. That thing's fantastic as well. Those are just specials that don't waste an exotic slot, that allow you to use an exotic heavy, for example, if you needed to use it for higher tier activities. And then lastly, on the Frozen front, you have Conditional Finality from Rooted Nightmares, which honestly is one of the best special exotics that you can use in this game. It stuns unstoppable champions, it stops anti-barrier and overload champions in their tracks, especially anti-barrier, so they can't put up the barrier, you just freeze them. So again, the scout rifle does have the potential for that, but in regards to performance, it does not perform as well as, you know, legendary or even exotics that can pretty much do the same thing. Plus, with all the options we have now of being able to stun champions, you know, anti-barrier, we have, you know, radiant and volatile rounds. You know, with overload, we can now freeze, jolt, you know, suppress targets. We have multiple options there in regards to just abilities. Same thing with unstops, you know, freezing, igniting, even just having weapons overall. Like, there are just so many options in regards to taking out champions that this gun, like, as cool as it is, it just doesn't perform as well as different loadouts could. Now, the one potential saving grace that this exotic could have in the future if Bungie decides to buff it is the Tithing Harvest perk, you know, creating that stasis shard, and it automatically tracks to you no matter how far away you are, and refills the magazine and overflows the magazine on overflow. Again, with the stasis subclass, a lot of builds run around the stasis shard, you know, gaining overshield, getting ability energy back, and especially with the new boots mod, you know, elemental charge, allowing a very high chance to get an armor charge from that. There are plenty of cool things that could be implemented, but in regards to the exotic in particular and the stasis builds too, I would not make this my primary weapon with stasis builds in general. Now let's talk about the Crucible. Let's talk about PvP. How well does it perform? Honestly, it performs like every run-of-the-mill 180 RPM scout rifle, because by the time you get those rapid precision hits, the target's already going to be dead. Even if you do have the option to slow them and get the creeping attrition perk rolling to gain that stasis shard, what exactly is the stasis shard going to do unless you're on a stasis subclass and you have the fragment on that gives you an overshield? There really isn't anything else with this exotic that's going to make it super broken in the Crucible. I mean, it's a run-of-the-mill scout rifle at this point. Overall, like I said, I think the design of the weapon's cool. It sounds cool. It looks cool. The mission to get it is really fun. I miss those time missions, especially, you know, when we had the, you know, Whisper of the Worm mission. We had the Outbreak Perfected missions. Those were really fun to do. Like, having that time, having a challenge that enemies were challenging. I really liked everything about this. It's just the scout rifle does not live up to its exotic slot, unfortunately. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like the scout rifle? Do you not like it? Do you think it was worth the wait this season to get it? let me know. Again, like I said, there could be some cool improvements to the Scout to make it very viable. It's just right now, it doesn't really live up to the hype. In any event, if you like what you saw, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to that channel, and turn that bell next to notifications so you don't miss out on another video here on the channel. If you want to tune into any of the streams, we stream here live on YouTube. If you want to be updated about any other content I'm doing or news in general, be sure to follow me on Twitter at ItsDaveTV. And if you would like to join my community, I have a Discord. That link will be in the description as well. Again, we are talking about Destiny 2, a variety of other games, plus PC tech, anime, and more. Lastly, if you want to look into supporting the channel, you can always join as a member. If you don't know what a membership is essentially like a Twitch subscription. Again, it's going to give you access to all the exclusive emotes, the monthly badges, and other cool stuff here on the channel. So if you'd like more information, all you have to do is press the join button next subscribe, and that'll give you a rundown with all the details you need. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been your boy. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.